Hi, my name's Andrew. Thank you for visiting my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to focus on Middle East seed capital investors, and this is a series of videos on investor profiles that are part of my Middle East fundraising database. The guide to Middle East capital includes the following. It has 325 company names, key contacts, the type of business, sectors of potential investment interest, websites, company emails, key contact emails, and key outreach strategy points. And the database will be delivered in Excel spreadsheet format. Some key database statistics: about 185 or 57% of the companies are based in the UAE, 60 companies are based in Saudi Arabia, and 125 companies are either venture capital, private equity, or angel investor groups, so that's about 40%. This is the best database for first-time fundraising in the Middle East. This video highlights Hala Ventures in Saudi Arabia, and they are one of 325 venture capital, private equity, angel groups, and investment companies in my exclusive Middle East fundraising database. Company snapshot: they're based in Saudi Arabia, and they're classified as an investment company and a venture capital firm. Their focus is on technology, fintech, and venture capital. Company description: a technology venture capital firm based in Saudi Arabia that empowers GCC startups in their early growth stages. Company focus, investor approach and strategy. Hala Ventures, based in Saudi Arabia, is a forward-thinking venture capital firm dedicated to empowering early-stage tech startups. Recognizing the importance of timely and comprehensive support, Hala Venture positions itself as a highly responsive partner for its portfolio companies. The firm's commitment is evident in its expert consultancy services and tailored investment support, ensuring it serves as the primary point of contact for any support or guidance needed by the startups it invests in. Investment focus: the firm specializes in investing in cutting-edge, tech-driven startups poised for global expansion while maintaining efficiency with their capital. Hala Ventures supports startups at early and growth stages with a diverse portfolio covering sectors such as B2B Marketplace, data analytics and business intelligence, e-commerce solutions, Edtech, F&B, Fintech, tourism, transportation and logistics through its innovative venture studio. Geographic reach: operating across the GCC region, Egypt, and Jordan, Hala Ventures boasts a robust investment portfolio with a value exceeding $55 million and an impressive overall portfolio valuation surpassing $1 billion. And here are some of their previous investments. Potential investment opportunities to approach them with. You're going to see an Excel spreadsheet coming up a little bit later with all 325 firms. And what I've done is I've actually pinpointed 3 areas that you could select as potential opportunities. Now, this doesn't mean that they're going to invest in them today or tomorrow, but it just means that based on a few criteria that I've looked at: number 1, their website; number 2, any press releases related to them or their affiliate companies; number 3, other companies in their same field, and taking a look at everything that they've invested in the past, of course. So given their past investment patterns and their existing philosophy, and that's taken into consideration as well, you might want to propose the following investment opportunities for this group: e-commerce, technology, and fintech. So while it is pretty technology centric, those are the 2 e-commerce and fintech do play a major role in the firms that they like to take a look at. One of the key benefits of my database is it includes tips for investor outreach, and this is unique. There is no database like it, and I specifically created this database for people who are using it to do their first Middle East fundraising. Fundraising in the Middle East is a lot more difficult than the West, and obviously if you're looking at places like the UAE, it's easier than doing it in Saudi Arabia, mainly because of the language and the nature of the people who work in the firms. So some of these points are really going to help you. Now, my database that you're going to see coming up is full of CEOs, chairmen, and founders, in other words, senior contacts. It also has a lot of info at contacts. It has admin contacts, and it is full of HR contacts. And I put those in there for a reason, and I'll get to that. But in the initial stages, as you start to build your relationships with these groups, first of all, you're not going to send them your pitch deck or your investment presentation for that $50 million or $100 million real estate project or the amazing financial opportunity. You're going to build the relationship first, and then you're going to approach them with the actual presentation. So in order to do this, you want to try to find contacts at the associate level, investment advisor level, director level, maybe even vice president level, before you start to think about CEOs, chairmen, and partners. And it's really, really important that you keep these steps in mind. So what I've done for this database is I've helped you with some of the key touch points that you should use. For example, in this case here, if you know who the contact is and it's identified on my spreadsheet, or you've happened to found it through other sources, you could use a line such as, Hala Ventures' approach to startup investments is impressive. We propose an initiative that could align with your vision. And then of course the next part of it is actually getting to the point where you want to make contact with that person. Or if you already know them, it's a lot easier, because then there'll be a two-way communication going on. Now, if you don't know who the contact is and you're not comfortable sending an email to a CEO or a chairman on the first approach, and that's fine. A lot of people aren't comfortable doing that, and my advice is you shouldn't do that, because you're only going to get one chance to talk to that person, and there's a number of things that are going to happen before that process. So if you don't know who it is, here's a good strategy. You could use a subject heading such as business engagement with Hala Ventures, and then the key initial email approach line may include, we're exploring ventures that might match your vision. Who can provide more insights? Now, obviously you're going to have a bit of an introduction saying, hi, I'm the founder of XYZ company, or I'm with XYZ company. That might be your middle line, and then you might have a closing letter, looking forward to hearing from you. So what happens when they receive this email? Well, one thing they're going to notice is that it's professionally written and you're not asking them for anything yet. There's an old adage in fundraising that says, if you ask for advice, you'll get funds. But if you ask for funds, you're going to get advice. So really what you want to do is you want to start off with the asking of advice. In other words, who can provide more insights. So if it lands in the HR manager's email, and again, when you get to the spreadsheet, you'll see it's full of HR contacts. And this is really specifically done for a reason. When an HR contact receives an email, it's their job to send it to the right person. Their job is not to screen for an investment opportunity or say, no, we're not interested in this. No, they're going to do one of two things. They're going to either send you back an email saying, you should contact so-and-so, here's their title and here's their email, or they're going to forward your email to the right person. Who's it probably going to be? An associate, an investment advisor, a director, and maybe a VP. They're not sending it to the CEO. They're not sending it to the chairman. Because really what happens is when you send a presentation to a chairman at a company, the first thing they're going to do, if they don't delete it first, they're going to bounce it down to those other intermediate level employees, because it's their job to analyze them. They're hired specifically for that. In fact, I've worked for a number of firms in the UAE, and we worked for one of the companies owned by one of the royal family, and we evaluated hundreds of opportunities every week. And generally the process was investment advisors would get it, they'd throw away the garbage, because they know what's garbage. I know what's garbage. I get about 30 to 50 pitch decks a month via my profile, and I can tell you that I can tell within 30-40 seconds whether a pitch deck is garbage, and I don't even deal with it, or I won't work with them. I'll just find a reason why. These guys are the same way. So just go through the process. You want to create a database of as many contacts at these firms. You want to explore the focus of their company, but most of all you want to understand their internal process of how they evaluate deals. Because if you're a group like the previous ones that I've worked in, when I worked in the Middle East, we were working on behalf of ultra high net worth individuals and groups on both the buy side and the sell side for a large real estate advisory. In other words, our projects were $50 to $250 million. So if you were somebody that's looking to buy or looking to sell, we were the go-to partners in that range, at least one of the go-to partners. So learning the process was really important for us as well, because if I wanted to pitch something to, let's say, somebody that's in my database for real estate, in other words, we're talking to major UAE companies that are known investors in real estate. We would need to know who to contact. It's just not blind. So you really have to learn that. Focus on building your database and understanding who the key players are before you do your pitch. And that's the best way to do your fundraising in the Middle East. So let's take a look at the database. So now we're over on the database section, and this is the Excel spreadsheet that includes all the contacts in the Middle East capital database. And as you can see on the very top, we've got 325 companies. We have their country, description of the firm, their main business interests, their websites, and they've all been verified. And of course, this database will be suitable for all of 2024. I also have included their investment targets, 1 and 2 and 3. So those are based on information that is publicly known, information that is on their websites of different investments and types of sectors that they will look at. So again, this database is really meant for people who are building a larger data set of Middle East companies to either approach for funding or to possibly promote their products to, because there's a blend of venture capital, private equity, family investment offices, and investment companies, and high-profile companies in the UAE that are led by UAE nationals. So it's a really great database for companies that really want to get a very good look at some of the key parties in the Middle East when it comes to raising capital. It also has their investment territory, which includes whether they're just looking at either the Middle East or whether they're looking MENA or whether they're looking global. I've also included their key real estate assets. If they're investment companies that tend to look at real estate, I've included those as well in this database. Now, it also has, as far as key touch points, it has their company emails, and in some cases it's not available because they want you to actually submit your details via their forum. But I'll get to the key stats a little bit later on, and you also saw that in the initial slide presentation. Telephone numbers and contact numbers. There are 2 what I call primary contacts, and then there's a third which is the secondary contacts. The key contacts could include CEOs, managing directors, executive directors, and that is the same with the second contact header. You can see operations manager, directors of real estate, presidents, and so on and so on. And the main reason for that is so that you have a senior contact that you can reach out to. You can also check them on LinkedIn to get more details. In many cases, their email addresses have already been included, and I'm going to get to that again when we go to the stats page. And the third email contact tends to be somebody in HR. And the reason I've done that is because this database is very unique in the fact that I include outreach approach tips for each of these firms. There are 2 types. One is a outreach touch point if you know who the contact is. In other words, if it's been already identified by myself, then you could send them a line that I've included here in all the companies. For example, Saudi has a strong track record in urban development in Kuwait. Would you be interested in unique investment opportunity that complements your portfolio? And the reason I include these is to help people write their first letters, and also to show you that you should not be spamming this type of list with just a generic email approach talking about your company and the investment opportunity. This allows you to add a little bit of information about them, so whoever receives it is going to know that you did a little bit of work, and it should not be considered as spam. And the second reason here is I've got contact sourcing outreach approach, and this is if you do not know who the contact is. And this is really key because in some cases you may not have a contact, and this is the perfect way for you to introduce yourself. For example, in this case I put subject request for direct contact with investment division. And then as the body of the email may include, I believe you might be the right person to assist me. We're exploring potential investment opportunities that align with Salia's investments vision. Could you direct us to the person or team responsible for evaluating such opportunities? And you can see as I scroll down here, it is included in that type of line. They're all customized, of course. The same with the ones for the direct contacts that are known. They actually talk about something the company has done, something they've invested in, the sectors, or possibly what their company vision is. And this is really going to help you, especially if you're doing first-time fundraising or if you just want to save time when it comes to your research for these type of firms. That's what makes this database unique. Another thing that makes it unique is it really sticks to mainly the type of companies that are either venture capital, private equity, investment companies. So there's no fluff in here. There's no companies in here that should not be in here. And that is the difference between this database and other databases that are out there that talk about investments and reaching out to other investors. For example, there's very little here when it comes to accelerators. There might be a couple of them, but it's not plugged full of what I would call just garbage contacts. These are really key companies that are perfect for reaching out to, whether you're raising funds or whether you want to present opportunities, whether it's real estate, investment opportunities, and the like. So let's take a look at some of the stats. So the underlying stats are there's 470 firms, 340 prime contacts, 90 third-tier contacts, and 90 email contacts when it comes to the third tier. So you're getting about 400 and a little over 450 emails, and the total company emails are 275. So those would be info at, admin at, that sort. So that's a really key overview of the database. Again, this is going to be a series where I'm going to highlight each of the contacts. For more information on this database, contact www.dubaiinvestorslist.com. That's dubaiinvestorslist.com. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe.